Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name is Carol and this is your reading for April 2024. So Sagittarius, we have a big month, and if you've been paying attention to what's going on astrologically, it's eclipse season, and we just had a lunar eclipse on March 25th, and so the energy of that's still around. But the biggest eclipse of the year is coming up on April 8th. And so I really couldn't ignore that. I mean, I'm kind of excited about it only because I live in Canada and I am in the direct path of the eclipse. And so this is probably the first time ever that I have really, gone out and bought myself the glasses and just really taking in what I can from this. And because it really is a growth period for all of us. And eclipses in general are just really about endings and new beginnings for us. It really is a peak month for us in April. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at what area of your life right now are you being asked to examine that during this eclipse season that we're in, this cycle that we're in right now. I wanted to know also, what do you need to release? What needs to be released? Because we're asking here, like, it's almost like it's a universal force that we're being asked to release something, and a lot of times it's relationships, like toxic relationships, or ones that just aren't, in our frequency anymore, that aren't vibing with us. And then what I want to do is look at, what's coming up from your shadow, from, your unconscious. So we're going to do a little bit of shadow work here in the third position. And if you're not familiar with that, what shadow work means, I've left something in the description box for you, a video. It's the first video, I think, that comes up. And that'll explain what shadow work is and how to do it. And that's just about taking a deep dive into some of the stuff from your childhood, your adolescence that needs healing. And it's something that's having an impact right now on what you need to release, And then we're going to look finally at what new beginnings coming for you. What's coming your way? What wants to be born here for you because you're releasing this in your life. And when we grow in our healing journey, there's always this, when we grieve, we release. When we release our grief, new things will always come to us. And so let's start looking at the first one here, the first position that I need to, we need to figure out what area of your life that you need to focus on. Now, in order to do this, I'm just going to talk about the cards right here. I'm using a new deck. It's called the Mystical Universe deck, and it's an indie deck. And so I'm gonna pull 4 cards from that, and then I'm going to clarify it with this mini tarot Rider-Waite deck I have. And then I'm going to pull a Moonology Oracle card. I thought that was very apropos for what we're doing. So I'm going to put that right here so I don't forget it, because I forgot it on a reading. Shh. Anyway, okay, so let's go to what area of your life, Sagittarius, are you being asked right now to look at during this eclipse cycle? What area of your life? So let's pull out a card for you. I love how these shuffle. Okay, one card, please. Just one card. Just want one card to pop out, please. Not shuffling as well as I want them to. Oop, too many. All right, so this one I threatened the tarot deck, and then one ends up coming out. I need a card. Okay, finally. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is the first card, so that's the area. That's the area that you need to focus on. What needs to be released? That one came out fast. The 8 of Pentacles. I had to figure out what the suit was. The 8 of Pentacles. And we have a pocket watch here, which is interesting. Okay, what needs healing? What's coming up for your shadow that needs healing? One card, please. One card, please. I'll take this a little bit slower. What's coming up for your shadow? There we go. Ooh, the 10, oops. The 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands. And just gonna make sure. Okay, and what's the new beginning for you? No, what's being born? That one came out fast, which is nice. The 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is being born here. Okay, so let's go to the mini Rider-Waite deck, and I'm going to pull out 2 clarifiers for the Queen of Wands, please. These come out a lot faster than that other one. Okay, so we have the Chariot card in reverse. I'll use these 2. The 4 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Swords. And the 8 of Pentacles here. 2 cards, please. And the Emperor. What needs to be released? He hasn't come out for a bit. Another card, please. One more card. All right, this time. Make it this time, please. Okay. The Lover's card. 10 of Wands. 2 cards, please, for clarification. Ooh, they come out nicely. We have the Sun. And the Page of Cups. The 7 of Cups, please. Those 2 came out. So we have, oh, that came out upside down. So the 4 of Wands. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and then I'll pull the Oracle card at the end. All right, so before we begin, what I want to do, Sagittarius, is in January I did yearly readings. If you haven't had a chance to see them, they're in my description box below. So in that reading, I pulled out 12 cards. And for April, you got as a card the Strength card, which is a nice card to get because, you know, it looks like this month, and remember this month we're looking at eclipse energy, right? So, you know, you see this woman here who has the strength to actually open up that lion's mouth. She's not afraid. There's no fear here. Because when we have fear, and a lot of us, you know, live in fear, our ego self that we have is actually a very fearful part of us. But the Strength card comes here when it tells you that your energy for April is that, says you have the strength. You have the strength in you to do the inner work that needs to be done this month. And that's the overriding energy, because a lot of us really feel sometimes that I can't do this. I don't have the strength to do it, you know. Maybe we've tried, we've gone in and out of therapy, we've tried to do a lot of healing on ourselves, a lot of work on ourselves, and you might be at a point where you're just, you're not feeling like you have the strength to go on and keep doing it. But this card is coming out for you as an overriding energy that's saying you have the strength to go inwards. You have the strength to, you know, pry open that Pandora's box and to let some of the emotions come out, to let some of whatever needs healing out. And so what area of your life right now are you being asked to examine? And the Queen of Wands comes out as your first card right here that you're being asked to examine. And the Queen of Wands is, all my queens in my deck are the feminine aspect of herself. It's a beautiful card here. And interestingly enough here, you get the tiger right near her. And so you get these two powerful animals right off the bat here, the lion and the tiger. And the Queen of Wands is the feminine aspect of herself. We all have a feminine aspect and we all have a masculine aspect. And in this particular case, the Wands is about taking our life in the direction that we want to go in. And the Wands is about getting in touch with our intuition and getting in touch with our inner guidance, which is our intuition, and finding out what, where we need to go and being very creative about it. The Wands can be about creativity, and that just has so many meanings to it. Could just be doing something different for ourselves. And so there is a part of you here that you need to focus on, which is your feminine aspect of yourself that wants to find out, your authenticity, that wants to be creative, that wants to take your life in a new direction, that wants to get in touch with their intuition. Because the Chariot card, interestingly enough, when I say that, the Chariot card is the next card that comes out. And the Chariot card is, it's a major arcana card. So it's like a universal force here that, it's a card that if you look at closely, you have this charioteer here who is driving these two sphinxes that's directing them, but there's no reins here. Like, these sphinxes have free will, and I mean, really, they're not even moving. And he's becoming like cemented. He's becoming part of his chariot here. And so, and it's in reverse here, which tells me that this individual right here has really been leading his own life by his will alone. His will is going to be, his mind is going to, he's trying to make those sphinxes move in the direction that he wants them to move in. But it's in reverse here, so it's not working for him anymore. And I think it comes to a point where you need to realize that I think your ego, and most of us are in this situation, your ego has really been the driving force that has, pushed you, propelled you forward. And it's been about your mind and your thoughts and your belief systems about yourself that are all up here. And your ego has a way of, reminding us all about these belief systems we have about ourselves. But the Queen of Wands is coming here and saying, wait a minute here. There's another side of you beside this Mr. This will, this ego that has been driving everything in your life. There's another side of you that you need to look at, which is the feminine side of you, which is your inner guidance, your intuition that you need to get in touch with. And Four of Pentacles comes in too. And the Four of Pentacles is all about our attachments and what we're attached to. And sometimes we can really have a hard time believing that there is another way to do things. Sometimes if we're stuck here and we've been really led by our ego for so long, this card comes out and says, there is another way. We need to let things go and realize that there is another way. This is like an attachment card. This is the attachment card. And so I'm seeing here that maybe you're realizing that, your ego has only taken you so far. You're now kind of becoming stuck, and you're realizing that there's something else, something else out there for you. There's another way, and you're kind of feeling that nudge that I don't know if I want to listen to this up here anymore. And you're starting to think, I need to go in a different direction. I need to take myself. This is a card about, it's a sword card. So it's about your mental energy. It's about your belief systems. And this is a card for me about safety. And sometimes I like to say it's like you're taking yourself into a safer place. You're needing to get to, safer water, safer place to really start to maybe get in touch with some of these swords here that you've planted. That you become attached to, these thoughts that you become attached to, they need to, you need to start to free yourself from them, because the Six of Swords is freeing yourself from this mental energy. And so I'm seeing here the focus is for you this month is trying to take your focus away from your ego self, these belief systems that you have picked up from childhood or adolescence that have driven your life, basically. So what do you need to release? So what needs to end? The Eight of Pentacles is the first card that comes up here. The Eight of Pentacles, interestingly enough, is usually something that we've committed a heck of a lot of our time to, and a lot of times it's our job. But it could be with the Pentacle card, it's usually about, the Eight of Pentacles is about, we're doing something that we enjoy doing. But in this particular case, I'm seeing that you have been involved with something that's taking up most of your time. And the question becomes, is this a passion of yours? Sure, it could be bringing you the money. Or maybe you've been doing it, you've spent a lot of time on it, but it doesn't really bring you what you want it to bring. Like as far as abundance wise, and as far as like, is this really what I want to do? Like, I put so much time into this. Is this really what I want to do? And so it's asking you that, is this serving your highest good for you? Is this your truth? Is this really what you want to be doing? Spending all this time here. And maybe you need to release this, because it's probably not what you're supposed to be doing, and it's probably not what you want to be doing. And the Emperor card comes in afterwards. And the Emperor card is, I call him Mr. Emperor. He's number 4. He's the rigid square. He represents society and what society says we're supposed to do and not supposed to do. So somewhere along the line, you've been told, maybe somebody, you've been praised because you're such an awesome worker. I can't tell you how many times, like, obviously any job that you go into, and if you work your ass off and you're like you're the guy that's going to stay after, do extra hours and give your entire life to your job, well, they love you. Society loves that. Oh, he's such a good worker, or she's a great worker, great person. Why? Because they work a lot. Well, that's, workaholism is an addiction. And society always really puts a real big emphasis on putting a lot of time into a job. Is, that's what's going to get us places if we work really hard and spend all our hours on that. And the Lover's card comes out next. The Lover's card is about an intimate relationship. And it's not about a partner coming in to save you. It's about the intimate relationship, about getting really raw and getting really vulnerable with yourself. And so the one person here, the one person that is really losing out here is you. You've lost yourself. You have lost yourself in whatever it is right now that you're spending all this time doing. Could be a project you're doing where you have committed your entire self to doing this. And I think you're hitting a wall here. I think, your ego self has convinced you. Society convinces you. Ego, love what society wants. This is what you were supposed to do. This is what's going to bring you success. It's going to bring you all this money. It's going to be, but what about you? What about the relationship you have with you and getting back to you and getting back to yourself here? The Queen of Wands wants you to focus back on your creativity, the direction you were meant to go in, getting back into your authenticity and who you really are. But you don't know because you're giving of yourself all this time to something else. And so what's coming up for you to heal? Like, what's in your shadow? What's in your unconscious that you buried there? Like, what sort of belief systems do you have that you need to heal? That need to change maybe. Well, the Ten of Wands comes here, and look at this individual right here. Look at him. He's tired. He's tired. He's been putting so much effort. He's been wanting to, I think there's this belief system that you need to, in order to get to your purpose, in order to get to, your direction in life, needs to be that you got to work until you can't anymore. And that's a belief system that you have sitting in your shadow. And there's no room for joy. Sun card's all about joy. There's absolutely no room for that. There's no room for looking at, what about your inner child here? It's the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is your love seeker. This is the inner child that really, really, really needs healing, that really needs to grieve. And so I'm seeing here that what's coming up right now, and I want to say it is there's a real erasure of self, of who you are. And I think you've really given it away to what you're involved in right now with. You're ignoring this belief system about having to work so hard, and you're ignoring about what really brings you joy, because I know it's not what you're doing right now. And that needs to leave. It needs to end somehow, It's something that has to be given up. And what needs to happen is you need to really get in touch with this inner child of yours. There's an inner part of you. This Page of Cups needs to heal. And our Page of Cups has a lot of grief. And so I'm seeing here that, maybe what you're doing is really a cover-up for not feeling and not getting in touch with that inner part of you that really needs to grieve and feel and heal. And so what happens when you finally, maybe you, and this Six of Swords here, where you need to that was at the beginning, number 1 position, where you need to take your life in a different direction, take some time out for yourself. And that's what needs to happen. You need to go in this different direction. You need to take time out for you. You need to somehow, if it's quitting your job, doing something else, lessening your hours, you need to start carving out some time for yourself. And that's what that Six of Swords is saying here. It's time to carve out time for you, because you really have lost you and your sense of joy and what it means to have joy in your life. You don't even know what that means anymore, because it's certainly not all this time. You're not getting it from what you're committing yourself to. So what's coming your way once you start healing, once you start carving some time out for you, or leaving this job that you need to leave, or, not make this a commitment of yours and all your time is spent doing this. When you start to carve out some time for yourself, when you start to get in touch with that inner child of yours and start to really ground back into your body and get out of your head that's telling you you need to work all the time, and these laws of society that says, oh no, you got to, good for you, big pat on the back. It gives you nothing. In the end, it's giving you nothing. You're empty. You need to start getting back into your body and getting in touch with your inner child again. And what is coming your way when that happens? What's your new beginning? Well, you have a 7 of Cups here. And the 7 of Cups is when, you look at everything. You have all these cups on display. And she's got one more that she could put up there, one more. And then she looks at it and she says, is this it? Here's all my trophies, Here's all my trophies that I'm winning, earning from this job I'm in, or whatever it is that's taking up all my time right now. Here they all are on display. For who to see? For what? And it's almost like there's expressions about there's like nobody's going to give you a trophy for it. Like nobody's going to give you spend all this extra time and that's what you're wanting, right? There's this real, that's what this people pleaser little Page of Cups inside of us is. Well, if I keep working this hard, if I keep giving all this time to this job or these people, or they're going to finally love me. I'm going to get the love that I'm wanting. It's a little love seeker, And so when we start to heal that inner child of ours that's seeking that love, and we're still trying to get that love through, giving of ourself so much. And this 4 of Wands comes in next. The 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands is in reverse. And this is number 4. It's like the Emperor card. It's the number 4, so it's a very solid base here. And these individuals right here, there's like a freedom wreath up here. There's a victory wreath. These people here, I call it like the masculine and the part of us are joining together. They're finally walking out of this wall structure behind them, and they're doing what they want to do. They're getting the freedom that they want. And right now, that's in reverse for you. That's blocked. So doing what you want to do, getting the freedom to walk away is blocked right now. But what's going to happen is you're going to see this once you start to open up that little bit of time for yourself, you're going to start to see things from a different perspective. And you're going to, maybe turn that 4 of Wands around and be able to walk away. And see that it's time to walk away. And the Queen of Pentacles comes here as a last final card for you. What's going to happen here? What's being born here? Well, this is the Queen. She is, like I said, the female part of us. But she's the Queen of Pentacles. And she's very much in touch with her inner guidance. She's very much in touch, in tune with her body. She's very much in touch with grounding and her self-worth. Very much in touch. She knows her worth. She knows that I'm worth enough now that I don't want to give my time to these people. They're not worth it. I'm worth more. And so she's here to say, you're going to get your self-worth back. You're going to get that sense of, I'm worth more than what I'm giving my time to. So it's something beautiful that's going to open up for you here. So I think I would like to recommend some videos on grounding, and to learn how to ground, and to learn how to get back into your body, taking some time out for yourself, and just getting in touch with that little Page of Cups right here that needs to heal. that needs to grieve. All right, so let's ask right now, Moonology Oracle card deck for a card that's going to really, solidify a few things for you. I just have two. I think I just want one card here. One card. I like when they pop out. Okay, then pop out. Oh, how many did I get? 3. Too many. Okay, I'll take these 2 because they're taking too long. Okay, so first one is the energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. So there's a buildup here. We can sense that there is a buildup here for sure. I can feel, I felt it the whole entire reading where there's just this buildup of, and you've been in this position for a while, and I think you've been feeling it. So, and a fiery climax approaches. So I'm going to read about the fiery climax approaching here. It's a full moon, so full moon in Aries. Okay, 68. All right. Here's a fiery climax card. I don't know if you can see it. Here you go. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast, or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created the situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it. When this card comes up, a peak is coming, and it could be fiery. The full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Wow. So definitely is coming to a peak here. I could feel it with it's gaining momentum for sure. And so I wish you good luck in the decision that you have to make for yourself, right? This is a reading for you. And I'll see you mid-month, Sagittarius. Take care and bye-bye.